All right, so I want to do a complete breakdown of these Virgo Pisces eclipse season that we are in that started in 2024 and is lasting until 2027. Okay, so we've had two of them so far. The first one was September 17th, 2024. Second one was March 14th, 2025. And now we're on number three, which is September 7th, 2025. We got quite a few more happening again between 2026 and 2027, but it's very important to be relevant to this information because these eclipses act as checkpoints on our journey. So we've got the balance back and forth between Pisces and Virgo. And what happens during an eclipse is the nodes are activated. So there are two nodes that are activated during this phase. We have got growth and we have release. So while these eclipses happen, what they're doing is they're pushing the boundaries. It's questioning, where are you on your journey? Have you released what you needed to release yet? Are you ready to move forward? Are you ready to embrace growth? And have you moved past the past? So I want to do a thorough breakdown of what this looks like, how this has been affecting us, because there are activations happening currently in our current time that are coming back full circle from 2024. So let's do a full breakdown today of what we can expect with the rest of these eclipses through 2027 to get a better grip on what we can expect, the dates we need to be aware of this happening, so that we understand mentally, emotionally, physically why we're feeling these intensities of these emotions, these mental processes, these feelings, so that we know how to move through them more accurately and what we're actually being challenged with. So I'm going to break this information down in chapters because these are 6 chapters that are trying to shift your reality. And we're going to talk about why this is happening and where it's actually pushing us to go. But let's first do the breakdown of what's happened, where we currently are, and how this has come into play already. And you may have seen the shift in your life yourself. So we have chapter 1, which started September 17th, 2024. And the energy around this was about illusions and emotional baggage, specifically about where you were over sacrificing, where you were avoiding reality, and where you were living in a fantasy world. Okay. This was all about that year, last year, was all about, where are you feeling trapped? What is not working in life anymore? What do you need to shift? And I saw a lot of people go through this. Okay. They went through a lot of dynamic changes, a lot of dynamic shifts, feeling that energy of change needing to happen. Some people acted on it, some did not. Some are still living in that illusion and that reality that they still feel the need to make that shift, but haven't quite gotten there yet. Okay. Now we have March 2025, March 14th of 2025. Okay. The start of this year. Remember, we said 2025 was going to be massive for change. It is hugely, hugely big on big awakenings, getting in alignment, getting to where you need to be. So in March, we had clarity, new cycles, and healings starting. Okay, I saw this in a lot of people again, with them coming into spirituality, wanting to learn more, making changes and dynamic shifts in life, and getting in more of alignment with what they wanted versus where they have been. Okay, so this was also big spirituality push with getting into cycles of rituals, of service, of structure, figuring out how to embody more of your soul and your spiritual journey versus just surviving on an everyday basis. Okay. Specifically, the question asked during this time is, how can you build a system around your soul? Okay. So being more in purpose, creating something that's more dynamic on a spiritual level than just the everyday living, right? And finally, we're up to speed on where we are. So we're in chapter 3, and this is happening September 7th, 2025. And this is a eclipse and also a full moon. Okay, so this energy is going to be very massive. So this is all about the energy of surrendering. Okay, reevaluation of the karma and themes of 2024. So if we go back to 2024, that was about the illusions and the emotional baggage. over sacrificing, avoiding reality, or living in a fantasy? Where are you still feeling trapped? Where are you still feeling trapped? That is what's going to surface during this next chapter. Okay. And this is about the illusions and emotional release. What are we still carrying? What is that baggage we still have? What is that karma that's not released yet? This is going back and making sure at this checkpoint you've dealt with the things that have come before it. You're already done with chapter 2. Are you done with chapter 1? If not, let's reevaluate it and bring it to the forefront, because this is huge for the question being asked, am I ready for the next chapter? Have I done enough to prep myself to get to the next level? Am I making the changes I need to? Have I fully embraced my soul and where my soul wants to go? Or am I still living in that illusion and avoidance? Okay. Chapter 4, March 3rd, 2026. So we've got chapter 3, which is September 7th. That energy is going to be continuing until March 3rd, 2026. So this, like I has said quite a few times, 2025 is going to be massive healing year. Massive healing year, massive release year, massive clean the closet. Let's get everything settled. Let's get everything done. Let's do the healing, get all the garbage out of the way. Because March 3rd, 2026, this is all about service, healing, and embodiment. This is about bringing ourselves to the forefront, allowing our soul to shine versus hiding, right? And the question that's going to be asked to a lot of people is going to be, how can I refine my life to show more of my soul? Notice this is pushing in a very strong direction of more soul embodiment, but also purpose, right? Do you see how that's unfolding here? It's trying to get everything out of the way that's been keeping you stuck, that's been keeping you in a backwards cycle, that's not allowed you to fully step into your power or see who you are. It's been pushing us to release, to embody more of us, and to become stronger in being secure, in showing up the way that we show up, so that we can do what we came here to do. So let's continue with the next 2 chapters. All right, let's talk about chapter 5, August 28th, 2026. Chapter 6, February 20th, 2027. Now remember, these cycles are lasting until the next one takes effect, right? So, chapter 5, we are looking at the final karmic sweep of deep subconscious release. Okay? This is letting go of victimhood, escapism, cycles of disempowerment. And the question being asked is, what am I finally ready to release once and for all? Okay, this is going to be the final push for you to release the karmic baggage, to release the past, to move forward, and to do some massive, massive healing in that next year for yourself. Okay, chapter 6, February 20th, 2027, is the final initiation of new beginnings of service, purpose, and practicality. Okay, this is about putting spiritual service into real life, into real ways, into real play. The question is, am I living my purpose in action, not just in spirit? So is it actually coming to fruition? Are you actually doing it in your physical life, or are you still just thinking about it, where you haven't put everything into play that needs to be put into play? Okay, overall energies here. We've got Pisces eclipses 2024, 2025, 2026. These are the ones that are all about the releasing karmic illusions, about endings, and soul draining patterns. Where are you not embracing yourself? What have you not released yet? Then we have the Virgo eclipses 2025, 2026, 2027. This is about building a new life of service, clarity, embodiment, and aligned action. That is your purpose coming to light. Putting that into direction, putting that into reality, building on what that actually looks like for yourself. Okay? By 2027, this is about stepping out of the Pisces shadow, which is all about the confusion, disillusionment, being the martyr, holding on to things. Woe is me, my life sucks, I can't get out of this cycle. Getting out of that dark aspect and getting into the Virgo light of purpose, clarity, devotion to practice, living in purpose, shining your light, doing what you need to do, showing up the way that you need to show up, and doing something with purpose and drive that makes a difference in the world and for the collective. And not just that, but for yourself in living a life of true happiness in a direction that actually gives you some sort of feedback that is soul quenching, not soul depleting. So, as you can see, this is massive. These eclipses that are happening are not happening on accident. They are happening in tandem with awakening people, getting people to see their purpose, getting them into the energy of embracing what it is they're truly meant to do here. Now, I'm going to preference this. This is not going to be the journey for everyone, because there are people who aren't going to assimilate to this information. They are not going to be able to purge. They are not going to be able to move forward. They're going to be stuck in that victimhood, karmic, deep, dark cycle that they just feel like they can never get out of. The woe is me, the victimhood, right? But if you can embrace these changes and shift with what's trying to shift, you're going to see where these alignments are going to be much more beneficial to you than a detriment, because it's ultimately going to lead you to the path where you're going to create a life of fulfillment. You're going to do something with purpose. You're going to be giving back. You're going to have a soul quenching experience, right? You're going to feel like you're finally fulfilled, that you're doing what you need to be doing. Okay. So pay attention to this. How is this affecting you? Write these dates on your calendar for the next 2 years. Really pay attention to what's coming up, how it's trying to move you forward, and get out of the comfort zone. That is the biggest thing. The comfort zone is a stagnant zone, right? But when we can get into the growth zone, which is very uncomfortable for a lot of us, it's pushing us towards growth, because growth is change and we don't always know what's on the other side. But if we can start moving towards those things and subconsciously reprogram ourselves to say, hey, amazing things are happening when I'm releasing what I don't need and I'm stepping into my power and allowing my life to shift and change the direction it needs to, you start seeing more of it show up. Things are more positive. You are in a better place. You are feeling better about yourself, about life. And all of a sudden, this glimmer comes back that you felt like A, you've never had ever before, or that it's been gone for a long time. So, like I said, pay very close attention to these dates. Write them down. Make sure you're paying attention to what they're trying to do and work through these things as this energy surfaces, because that's what's going to get you on the path to where you truly want to be. That is where your awakening is going to start happening. And that's where you're going to see where things need to shift and what you're truly meant to be doing while you're here, even if it's not clear to you yet. But if you have any questions, leave a comment. As always, check us out, indigoblessings.com. We can help you on this journey, provide information to you, assistance, mentorship, training. But we're here for you on this journey because we've all been there and we know how difficult it can be. But on that note, have a great day, everybody. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you next time.